I'm Doug here at Global West, and I thought I'd take a second and talk about some G-body rear lower control arms. Now they happen to be from 1978 through 88, and these particular lower control arms feature a couple unique things. First, we run a spherical bearing on the frame side. Now the spherical bearing looks something like this that's pressed into the control arm, and what that's going to do is it's going to allow this to pivot. So when the differential goes over a bump or whatever the case is, it allows it to pivot properly. That's very important to keep control of the vehicle. It's great for a handling application. It also, because it does pivot, reduces some harshness in the rear. But the biggest thing of all is you got control. That pivot is very important. So this bearing system that we utilize in the rear frame allows for that articulation. You might be able to see it there. Another thing we incorporate is the Del-A-Lum bushing. Now the Del-A-Lum bushing, which goes on the differential side, is a 6-surface design. It has a inner rotating sleeve separate from inner and outer thrust washers that control lateral movement. The Del-A-Lum bushing is a straight up and down application. Now here's the neat thing. When you run a spherical bearing setup with the Del-A-Lum bushing, you have full articulation of the differential, but you get rid of lateral movement. The Del-A-Lums don't allow lateral. It's a straight up, straight down, and the bearing allows for the pivot. Now because these are opposing angle lower control arms, it's kind of like you got a triangle back there. So what happens is when you go to this style of bushing, that differential now, because of the triangle, is locked in position. The only way it can move laterally is if one of your pickup points were to shift or move, and that's not going to happen. So this type of a control arm with this type of bushing and that type of bearing will give you great control for lateral, quarter exit, launching, drag racing applications, but yet it doesn't give you any bind. So this fits 78 through 88 Grand Nationals, Regals, Chevelle, El Camino, and there's actually a few others we'll throw up on the screen. What this is going to do for you, it's going to control lateral movement without bind. It's going to allow the suspension to pivot properly. It's going to help you in a drag race environment, corner exit environment, and just all around street because it's going to get rid of the bind in that rear suspension. The part number for this is a TBC2. Again, it's for 78 through 88 G-bodies. If you're rebuilding that suspension in the rear and you want to get better control, this is something you may want to take a look at.